we are looking at Agora website. There are other BSB websites mainly for developers, but that's kind of difficult for users to get it.
Yes.
But with this Agora website, I can go to money button, I can go $5, then I can go to what's on chain. Cool services are being developed right now. True that you are targeting the users to come to this site and they can...
Yes, that's very true. I want to facilitate for users who don't want to read code, because for now we are sharing many technical solutions, but that ultimately, result to you being able to read code and understand what is being proposed with these applications, with these protocols. And this is intimidating to most users who can't read code or don't want to read code, or in any case, a code is not about the code, it's what you can do with the code that matters. So, I'm trying to just make it really easy for the users who have no experience with Bitcoin to find the easiest to use applications, the ones that are, ready to use and that are, joyful and pleasant and happy. It's fun to use, and start, making that more accessible to users who perhaps don't know a lot about it.
It reminded me a little bit of Yahoo when they
back in the day,
because they listed all the services.
Right.
Then after Yahoo, Google started taking off, right?
Yeah. And this is one thing that sometimes people have said, and so what are you trying to do? Are you going to be the next Yahoo, or the next or the next Google, one thing that I always say is that no matter how you look at it, even if it's an AOL or a Yahoo back in the day, it had its run. It went, it became a big business for 10 years, and it's still like a household name. Yahoo Finance is still on top of its game. AOL was bought by Time Warner, a big merge. But in any case, one thing that Yahoo started as a directory, and Google kind of blindsided them because they started doing search algorithms.
Right.
So what we want to do here, for now, it is a bit of a directory, and it's user-fed, user-submitted mostly. We also populate the lists, but users can submit content to us. Users can submit apps, submit links, submit news feeds, and we are planning to expand this so that users will have more of their favorite shortcuts, their favorite applications on their desktop page. But in any case, what we want to do is that not only users can submit pieces of content like an application, but at any time if someone submits an application directly to the blockchain, for example, or a product, like we in BSV we are working on creating standards for example, if someone submits a product, then all different shops can list these products that people are submitting.
All the different shops can list
the same products, kind of, and they could if they wanted. So you could have like a peer-to-peer app, like a marketplace, like an Amazon, but where people just put their products on chain, or put their apps on chain, or put their photos on chain, whatever it is. So what we want to do is to have a mechanism that crawls the blockchain, queries the blockchain, and checks for any new apps that have been submitted, and this would pre-populate our databases, our lists, our directories. So in a sense, we would be moving away from the Yahoo directory model and more into Google model.
Google model,
where the information just comes directly from the blockchain to us.
Right.
While you search Agora, you will be searching anything on the blockchain.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So right now these apps are manually selected by you. Because you consider these are the coolest apps.
I would say so.
At this point,
it's not my personal favorites. So I try to pick pick a little bit of kind of each category and make sure that we have a good sample of projects that are working well, that are doing innovative stuff. Like even the Bitcoin piano or art on Bitcoin. These are just interesting experiments, right? That someone built and put on chain, and I think this is an interesting experiment. So you can play piano on chain, and I think this goes to show to new users that you can actually store data on chain.
What I didn't have is that I talk about BSV every day and all day, but I don't really have a directory or the aggregated site like this before.
Right.
So I had to point to each individual service.
If I may show you something, if you click here, for example, Apoteca, and then...
Well, you seem to use this... Are they Italian words or Greek words?
Greek words. Some Latin, somewhat, some Greek. I'm kind of inventing a language there. It's not specifically any language, but yes, so it's funny, Agora is the ancient square of the Greek city-states, where they used to have political discussions, philosophical debates, voting, the market, right? And Agora in Hebrew means 1 cent.
Okay, 1 cent.
1 cent. Agorot, 2 cents.
Okay.
In plural. So, and in Portuguese, it means now. The word now. Agora.
I see.
Yeah. So, I thought there was a lot of synergy with this word. And,
I see.
And then when, I started kind of building the sections of the website, then I realized that, an apoteca is now used for the word for pharmacy.
Pharmacy. Right.
But it used to be a warehouse. So it's where you store your weapons, your potions, your chemicals, like it's your storage. So that's where we store our magic tricks, that's where we store our apps.
I see.
And of course the word apoteca kind of sounds like a library, a biblioteca for apps.
That's right. That's right.
And then biblioteca and cronica, because it's just the name of a journal or something, a newspaper. And then mercato is just another word for market. That's
mercato,
a
Latin word, and it's also Italiano.
I think so. Yeah. I think in modern Italian it's still mercato.
Yeah, mercato. What are the challenges or concerns you have at this moment? Is this on-ramp to BSV is the biggest concern, you think, or are there any challenges ahead for you?
Sure. Well, this technology is maturing. Of course, there are layers to it. Like Bitcoin, of course, has had 10 years of track record, but now we are improving on Bitcoin, and we are creating...
After 10 years?
Only after 10 years.
It's been a long time.
Unfortunately, yes. We wasted a lot of time there.
Right.
But at the same time, could we have done this? Could we be at this point without having 10 years of track record? We don't know, right? So in any case, we're now at a point where we are creating secondary levels and additional layers of technology on top of Bitcoin, and these additional layers, they also need to be perfected, improved, and matured. And for example, when we envisioned Agora and when we launched Agora, in fact, the MetaNet protocol itself hadn't been launched yet, and we are already calling ourselves your homepage on the MetaNet without even knowing what the MetaNet is.
Yeah, that was back in May, right?
I think each one of us had an idea of what the MetaNet was, but really, so now we are taking a kind of a step back to just look at this technology as it is, understanding what all the protocols that people are building can contribute to our project, because we really don't want to reinvent the wheel and redo everything that everybody else is doing. If there is an on-chain identity system, we want to use it. If there is a protocol for market, a peer-to-peer marketplace, we want to use it. If there is a protocol like Twitch for sharing content, we want to use that. We don't want to reinvent Twitch. We want to give the user the ability to use Twitch and to use any other competitor or any other product or service that may appear in similar formats. Same thing with Instagram, for example. So it's all about giving really the user the choice to own their data, to decide what informations they want to make private or public, and to make it easy for the user. Like we are used to, for example, when we have our phone, we have a platform for launching everything we need within our phone, right? Within our home screen on our phone. And I wanted Agora to be this one place where you can log in, and this will give you like your Twitch notifications, your Bitstagram notifications, your Weather SV feed. So if you tell Weather SV that you're funding, or actually if you tell Agora, that happens already. That's working already on your profile page. But if you tell Agora that your preferred channel on Weather SV is, for example, Tokyo, then when you log into Agora, it shows the weather to Tokyo on your profile page.
I see.
And in the future, we hope that you'll be able to get all your notifications in one single place. So, for example, if you have products listed or services listed on $5 and you got an order, someone orders something from you, you will see a notification on Agora telling you that you need to go to $5 and read your order. Or the same thing with Bitstagram. If you got a like on Bitstagram, or if you got a mention on Twitch, you should get a mention here, like a notification here on Agora that reminds you that you should visit Twitch or visit Bitstagram and check your messages there.
Okay, great, Alan, and it's been good talking to you.
My pleasure.
And I'll catch up with you again.
Sounds great.
Thank you.